Where's the beer with the snacks? What's that? Beer. We're ready.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome, board members, to the Planning and Zoning Board, August 28th, 2025. The time is approximately 6:32 p.m. If anyone wants to speak on agenda item, please complete the public comment card and give it to the Planning and Zoning staff prior to the board discussing the public and before the public comment section is announced. In no event will anyone be allowed to submit a comment card to speak on agenda item after the title of the item is read or considered. The total time allotted for each member of the public to comment on each item is 3 minutes. Let's start off with a moment of silence. And the board will lead with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, can we have a roll call, please?
Board Member Brown,
Present.
Board Member Gallen,
Here.
Board Member Burgess. Here. Board Member Joseph. Here. Board Member Shepherd. Here. Vice Chair Fernandez.
Here.
Chair Wiley.
Present.
We have a quorum, Chair.
We have an acknowledgement of any board member absent notification,
No, sir, Chair.
an acknowledgement of board member vacant position.
The vacant position, Chair, that we have is for the alternate District 2, the alternate District 4, and the board member District 5. And with that, Chair, the alternate, Ms. Lucy Joseph, will have voting rights for tonight.
Well, thank you. On to number 3, any additions or deletions to the agenda? Any disclosures by board members? Any motion for adoption of the agenda?
Motion to adopt the agenda as provided.
Second. It has been properly moved in second, Chair. Ready for the vote?
Yes.
Board Member Joseph?
Yes.
Board Member Burgess?
Yes.
Board Member Shepherd?
Yes.
Vice Chair Fernandez?
Yes.
Chair Wiley?
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Chair.
All right, on to approval of minutes.
There are no minutes, correct, Ms. Weathers?
Correct.
On to unfinished business. Thank you. On to new business.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, approving a city-initiated Code of Ordinance amendment, amending City Code of Ordinance, Chapter 32, Art in Public Places Program, amending Section 32-2, definition, adding and/or amending definition of artwork, of art or artwork, a local artist, maintenance with the respect to artwork, maintenance with the respect to the property maintenance mural, public art collections, public art master plan, project renovations, temporary artwork, amending section 32-4, public artwork advisory board creations and compositions, amending section 32-5, public art advisory board powers, duties, and functions, amending section 32-7, establishment of public art fee, amending chapter 32-9, art in public places requirements, adding section 32-12, adopting the master plan by referencing creation, section 32-13, adding art and public places program policies and procedures, providing for applicability, conflict severability, codification, and providing for an effective date. The presenter will be Principal Planner Sunit Simon.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, members of the Planning and Zoning Board. It's been a while, so it's wonderful to see you all tonight. As our long header told you, tonight we will be adopting amendments to Chapter 32 in order for us to adopt a master plan that was presented to you all a couple meetings ago. Before we do that, I'm going to give a little bit of background just to kind of catch us up. In January of 2024, the City Council adopted Ordinance 4245. That established Chapter 32, which was the arts in public places. And then from there, one of the key components that were found inside of that ordinance was that we were supposed to have a master plan developed in order for us to actually acquire art in the city and also to identify where to put this art and how to do all of this, right? So it was a bit of like, how do we do this? So this master plan is supposed to instruct us to do this. So the City Council commissioned Designing Local Ltd. In order to lead this development. God bless you. In order to lead this development of the master plan. So tonight we'll talk about we'll talk a little bit more about that master plan, but a proposed master plan is now created, and we did this utilizing our community members to envision how they would see art here in our city. So it's been drafted, and what's been drafted along with this are amendments to that ordinance, 4245, in order to align with our master plan and in order to actually implement the master plan. So tonight we'll be talking about those modifications to Ordinance 4245. And so the proposed new ordinance is ordinance number 4283. Some of the modifications begin with our definition section. In our definition section, we're modifying the definition of art, work of art, and artwork. What we're doing is removing the word tangible that is in there and replacing it with original creations. In addition, there's a list of items that are not considered art. We're trying to say this is not considered art for us, and we clarify what that looks like. We're also adding missing definitions. Some of those missing definitions that we didn't have in our first ordinance was, what's a local artist? We didn't have maintenance with respect to artwork, as well as maintenance when we're talking about maintenance of the property that has the artwork. So we add those in there. We also were missing the definition for murals. Even though we talk about murals and our city has murals, and we know about murals, we didn't have a definition for that. We're also missing public art collection, as well as temporary artwork. What is that considered? In our new, in our proposed language, we also clarify the definition of the public art master plan. We talk a little bit more about what do we consider the master plan. We clarify the definitions of project, what is a project, and then we add the term unit because we were talking about residential development, but really we were trying to say it's a planned residential unit development when we talk about our PUDs. So that was a scrivener's error on our part, in which we correct. And then we clarify the definition for renovation. Further along in our proposal, we also, and this is in section 32.4, we clarify that the Public Art Board's time commitment. We add a time commitment for that and how they can participate a little bit more. And then we also update their duties in order for it to align with having these different art activities and adding the community into this. It was missing language on their role in doing that. And so they wanted to add that in there as well. For clarity purposes, we modified the term budget. We had the word budget in there, but yet everywhere else we were saying construction costs, which is a pretty big difference when it comes cost-wise. So to not burden our developers, we have the word construction cost there for clarity as to what it is that we are taking that 1% from. We also clarify the options that our participants have, where we're adding as defined in this chapter. So that way everybody knows we're just talking about this particular chapter. We add language in there that clarifies how they participate, especially those that are doing big developments that come in different phases. How are you supposed to pay the fee with this? Are we doing it in sections or are we doing it one time? and ours would clarify and say, yes, you'll be paying that at one time. And we also removed section 3282B3, which was very muddled. It was a lot of words and words, and I think you kind of scratch your head when you read it. And so we make the language clearer in order for everyone who's participating understands how to do just that. Other modifications include, we had a section where, in a sense, it did have a lot of words. It's like, you can give us these, but they seem very theoretical. And so we clarified that language, and that language is coming in 32.7. And then we added sections 32.12, which is the actual adoption of the master plan. And we added another section, which is the guidelines. It's the policies for the board to utilize of how they're supposed to do the call for artists, how they're supposed to evaluate. This gives them more direction so that way they understand their role as board members. And those are the adoptions, those are the modifications that we've made to Chapter 32. The recommendation that we have as a staff, after working with Designing Local, which was a very great experience for our team, after working within our community to hear where people thought about, where they wanted to go, the type of art that they want to see in the city, our staff recommends approval, or we're recommending that you all ask City Council, that you recommend to City Council the approval of ordinance number 4283. Any questions?
Quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
On 7A, we just had the chapter 32 and subsections. So is this another one that we're going to split it up separately?
Say that one.
When we do vote on it,
Okay.
7A covers only chapter 32. It doesn't have anything about approval of ordinance 4283. Do you want us to do it separate when we do get to that stage? Approving chapter 32 and the subsections?
Chapter 32, and maybe I'm misunderstanding, but this is the amendment to
You're
chapter
asking for
32.
approval of ordinance 4283.
Okay, correct.
Okay. 7A, we're talking about chapter 32 and the subsection.
So if I may, Mr. Chair, I think you're actually talking about the same thing. So the ordinance number is really for tracking purposes for the clerk, but the references to chapter 32 are to the references to chapter 2 of the code, the way that it's codified currently. So it's the same thing. It's incorporated.
So in other words, we're not recommending approval of ordinance because once we approve chapter 32 and the subsections, it'll incorporate 4283.
So the motion would be a motion to recommend approval of ordinance number 4283, which would have the effect of amending the city code at chapter 32.
Thank you.
And I can fix that language for us to say the same thing. You guys are a little quiet tonight. Wow.
Pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Okay, I thought you still had a little bit more. Any questions about the board? All right. I see we have someone in attendance. Do we have any comment cards?
No, sir, Chair.
Oh, that's Mr. Sherman over there. All right, no.
We have a guest in the
You have a
audience.
guest, I see that.
I feel like he has a comment.
No, she's our protector, okay? The officer.
All right, are we sure we don't have any questions by the board for this item? Because it seems like it's a great idea.
Just a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you to you, the board, that have put time into, or the public art board, and staff that put the time into putting this plan together, and looking forward to seeing the work that comes out of it.
We're excited. We're excited.
Beautiful. The
Is it
pictures
in a
are
way-
absolutely beautiful. Only thing, I didn't see my picture in here, so I'm just
That's,
kidding.
I
I'm just kidding.
fought for it hard. I fought for it hard.
Now, I wasn't the first set, I think, when we were at Lindsay
Yeah.
Davis, so I've been in there.
Yes.
But they're absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
They're very nice, well articulated.
We really had a great consulting team, and our staff has been helping in so many ways, even if they didn't want to at times. But they've been amazing at getting us to this place. And our advisory board has been working hard as well. So we thank you all.
Before I forget, when we get into the section of the pricing for this art, the Planning and Zoning Board would like to submit a bench. We'll only charge $28,000.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
We accept cash and go. 25.
Chair,
Mr.
I
Chair, if
do
we
have
could
a
clarify,
question.
that was a joke for the record.
Chair, I do have one question.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you guys currently have a public art coordinator?
Are we going to have one?
It's in the policy. Do you have one currently?
We do not have one currently. Mhm. It's part of the recommendations to have one.
Okay. But you do have a board.
Correct.
Okay, I remember that.
Correct.
All right, I have a question real quick. And I know I was looking through, do we have any, I guess, any ideas or pictures that what kind of pictures that we're trying to exhibit? Is it more cultural? Is it more seaworthy, or fishes and all kind of stuff like that, or what kind of items is it that we're actually approving?
So right now, our plan talks about like the feeling and the types of things that we'd like to see, but we don't have an idea of what those are exactly. That would be the artists that actually that responds to our call to art. And then from there, we'd be able to go, okay, this goes based off our checklist that is given within, because art it varies, right? And so at this moment, based off of what we're trying to do, when the artists respond, then we see if it hits our checklist of what we consider art and what we're trying to evaluate. And then from there, we know what it really looks like. But today, I couldn't tell you we're going based off of this idea. We can only talk about does it connect? Because right now the idea is connecting, so connecting neighbors, connecting art to health, that's the theme that we're going with, is connecting our community.
So are we going behind another city or another county as far as the design we got, or are we trying to I don't know, I know Miami has a lot of nice things down there, but are we going behind another company as far as trying to look a certain way, or we have an idea of what
We're
we want it to look
Riviera
like?
Beach. We are looking like Riviera Beach. So it'll be what accentuates our community. So during the surveying process, some of the questions were, one, how do you see our city?
Right.
And two, how do you want to see our city? So our master plan revolves around that. How does our community want to see us? So we're not going to look like Miami. We're not going to look like West Palm Beach. The hopes is that we're going to look like the collective ideas that our community has brought forward to say, this is what Riviera Beach. And it was pretty special because a lot of people talk about that this is home. Like it's a feeling, like a quaintness and a bit of feeling like home, but at the same time, we're big girls and boys, right? Like we want to do so many big things. And so the idea is that the art will capture those feelings into that. And at the same time, art that connects us with our neighbors and art that connects us with our environment. So it'll look different. It'll look like Riviera Beach is our hope.
Chair,
Yes.
one more question. Sunil,
Yes, ma'am.
so when there's artwork that will be purchased or, things that the city wants to do, what is the process? Like it goes through the board first, through the arts board, and then they make their recommendations to go to the city council for final?
That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct. So, and our idea is that we have professionals, experts within different art fields that will be able to help with that determination and to define art, and then for them to give their recommendations to our council members.
Thank you.
Chair,
Yes.
the maintenance and the upkeep of the grounds around our art and the actual art, who's gonna handle that?
So if this is art that is on the owner's property, the owner worries about it. And if it's on our own property, we will do that. Part of the evaluation process of saying, yes, this is the art we're going to choose, we have to make sure it's maintenance that we're able to keep up with at the same time. Mhm. So we won't select something that's too egregious for our team and that's not too expensive for our team to be able to keep up with.
The artist will come up with a rendering of what they deem appropriate, and then the board will vote on that. Am I
Correct. Great questions, you guys.
Any other questions by the board? Would anyone like to make a
Waiting
motion?
on ya.
I have questions, but we're gonna be here.
Yes, another question.
All right, last question. What's the timeline? Is the goal to get a coordinator in place first, then to start implementing what we have in the plan, or?
We're hoping to go before city council in October.
Okay,
October? The next
One of the
time.
months.
Oh, we go in September for our first reading and
Okay.
hoping for adoption hearing. We aspire to have that in October. And then we already have construction of other buildings here in the city. And so we'd like to begin soon for our first one.
Thank you, Chair.
What is the chance of the planning and zoning board being some of the deciding members of what goes where?
Of what goes where?
Yeah, of what it looks like or where it goes and what goes where. Because we would definitely like to see it before.
So you'll see some things. So after the recommendation is made from our board, especially when it comes to site plan, when they're reviewing site plans, you'll see things come your way in order to be reviewed before they go to city council.
So we'll come back for our review to be able to see it before it goes to city council. Oh, awesome, awesome.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
I think was it last night? I think it was last night, they showed an artwork, I think, with the fish on, where, I don't know where it's gonna go.
For the
but
gateways,
will that be the one for the gate? Is that considered art?
I mean, it's art.
It's art. So have you figured out where that's going? I can't remember where they say that.
I believe those are gateways that you're referring to, like the one that they said they're going to be at different entrances in the city.
Yeah,
That's not with our board. In our master plan, we identify having art at gateways, so it's great somebody's going to do it. But that's currently that we haven't had conversations about that yet, so I wouldn't know. Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chair?
Yes.
I move, like to make a motion to approve an ordinance of the city council for ordinance 4283, arts in public places.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Chair, it has been properly moved in second. Are we ready for the vote?
Yes.
Board Member Shepherd?
Yes.
Board Member Joseph?
Yes.
Board Member Burgess?
Yes.
Vice Chair Fernandez? Chair Wiley?
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Great questions.
Oh, great presentation.
Just for the record, do we have to include the language that also it included the approval of ordinance 4283?
I believe the motion referenced ordinance 4283, so I think you're good there. And for clarification of the record, ordinance number 4283 as proposed and drafted by staff includes the discussed changes to chapter 32 of the code.
Jerry does include it.
Got it. Just want to make sure. Let's move on to item 8 then. We have workshop items. Any public comments?
No, sir, Mr. Chair.
Let's so move on to general discussion, staff updates.
We have no update.
Any board correspondence?
No, sir, Chair.
All right, I have a comment real quick. I know we want to get out of here. I want to make sure. I know myself and the vice chair was talking a little earlier about beautifying the city is definitely one thing that we want to do because we're all about progress in the city and everything. But I definitely want to make sure that when the next opportunity comes along, and this is, I guess, directed towards city council, that the next time something comes along with education, given the amount of money that we're spending here now, we should not have any dispute about education in our community. Because a lot of our schools and students that are here, and everyone knows I'm a school teacher, that we need to invest into our city also as far as education. Along with beautifying it, we also need to make sure we're educating it also at the same time. So when it's time for the money to come in to approve these items, as sure as we want to make sure our city is beautiful, we definitely want to make sure that we're educating our city at the same time. That's all I have. Does anybody else?
I do, Chair. I just wanted to know from staff, if is there an update on the items that I requested probably about 2 meetings ago? Things that the city could do in order to help its residents. We are coming close to property tax season, and I do know last week the Palm Beach County property appraiser sent out the trim notice to all property owners. So I'm just wondering, is there any update on the numerous items, recommendations I provided?
Yes.
We don't have an update this evening, but perhaps at the next meeting, we can we'll bring you an update, which will include setting a workshop date. So that, we'll bring that on September 11th.
All right, thank you.
Chair.
Yes.
Mr. Evans, if Mr. Sermons also recalls, the amendments that we added to the contractors 6 months after their CO, they provide us with the hiring vendors to see what representation Riviera Beach. I am sure by now we've had several projects, to include Berkeley Landing, that have already received their COs. Just don't forget to update us on the project and the list the contractor was supposed to provide, so the board can see exactly who they hired, vendors, to ensure that our Riviera Beach citizens have a share in the development profits.
Chair?
Yes.
Question, as a follow-up to that comment, is that a condition to get in CO, that they provide that information before or after? Or,
It was a condition of the development that was approved.
Yeah, I believe it's been added to some of the resolutions, so we'll go back through with the ones that the conditions been added to, and if any of them are under construction, we will bring those results to you.
Well, some of them have already been finished, this
Right.
close to 6 months. Just don't forget, just a little added.
so it's a condition to get the CO, or is it a
When
condition?
they come up, when the developer came up here, we added that as a condition to the approval. That they provided with a list
After CO?
after, 6 months after the CO
Okay,
is issued.
got it.
They come back to our team, developmental services, and then they report back to the planning and zoning board. The development you approved X,
Mhm.
this is their report. Who they hired, where they're from, and the vendors, so that we get an idea that they said they were gonna hire Riviera Beach residents, and the vendors are saying to give our citizens a little piece of the pie,
Yep.
per se. And then we just wanna see are they doing what they said they would do? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Evans. That is it. Thank you,
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
may I ask one question? I passed by 11th Street, right off of 13th Street, and I saw Mr. Ezra Setfold sign on the, what is that? Because did it come before planning and zoning? Maybe I was out that week, I'm not sure. But I'm trying to find out, how did he get that project? What was the process? Because it didn't come through planning and zoning. I mean, I never heard, I was shocked. I had to stop and go back. And I love Ezra, don't get me wrong. But how did he acquire this project with it not been vetted out between planning and zoning?
Yes.
That's the Villa La Anse project,
That's the what?
the CRA's Villa La Anse project.
Okay,
project called 12 Pounds in first phase, and they have started construction.
Okay,
And that went before the planning and zoning board in 2024,
okay,
and then city council following that.
okay, okay. So did they send out an RFP or whatever to get, builders? How did he acquire that? I don't remember. How did he acquire that? Or did other people have a chance to bid on that? Or was it just given to him? How did that go?
I believe what they did is a public bid process.
A public bid?
Bid process where you publish the plan. And then contractors provide a bid, but I couldn't say for sure because but I believe they did a bid for construction.
It was a bid for the construction.
Yes.
How many people bidded for that project?
I'm afraid I wouldn't have that information. I don't know.
You don't have the information.
No, that because it's the CRA's project.
I have to go to the CRA and ask this. Oh, okay. I just passed by that day and well, I remember the Vela, whatever it is, because it did come through. I think we did. Didn't we talk about that project? I think we did. Looked like it was not too long ago we talked about it. And already they have things draped around ready to go. I mean, it was just that quick.
Yeah, I think it was maybe 7 or 8 months ago that they went through the approval process.
It's been that long? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Huh?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Mr. Evans, one more question, Mr. Evans. What is the possibility of us getting someone from code enforcement to come into one of our meetings?
If we have if the board would like a presentation or an update on the activities of code enforcement, we could schedule that for a future meeting.
Right, I would, because I would like to I have a lot of questions about some items that we discussed before, and I know the city is probably tired of us talking about it, but we have I know a lot of parking issues on some of our main roads where there's a lot of parking on the side of the main roads, which pretty much is deemed, I feel is deemed unsafe. I mean, during the time I managed FedEx, this was something that was almost was not acceptable. So I wanted to be able to talk to code enforcement and kind of give a clear definition of what we can and what we can't do, and what's enforceable and what's not enforceable, so we can understand it. Because I know I get frustrated a lot in my neighborhood by seeing certain things being done and watching the dangers that it presents, and then nothing's being done about it. Because sooner or later something's going to happen, and when it does happen, I don't want the city to be held liable for anything.
So the parking within the right-of-way is actually the police department, but we could ask for them to come in and present to the board to go through the rules and what's allowed and the enforcement actions that they do take place to try and prevent misuse of the right-of-way with vehicles.
Right. Mr. Evans, I definitely appreciate that if you can do that. Because I'm pretty sure not only myself, but so other board members have questions. And of course, the public would like to be cleared up on it also.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
just one more question. I know we're on the time frame, but may I say happy birthday to you, Mr. Wiley?
Yay, happy birthday.
A
Early
very,
birthday.
very fine young man, a very brilliant teacher. And his mother, who was one of my mentors, I know she'll be very, very happy that she raised a fine young man. And I want to say thank you for being the chair. You have exemplified, you were a little nervous at first, and I had to kick you into the bucket. And you're just doing an excellent job, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I want to say thank you. Mr. Fernandez, he's a whiz at it, so I don't have to say thank you to him at all.
You know, I got a great evening.
Absolutely.
And you're a great person.
Absolutely.
And we
Work
thank
together
you.
as one.
We thank you. We thank you for just standing up for the challenge. I'm very proud of you. And may I say happy birthday again.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. One thing I can say that these birthdays now, when you get on the other side of the hill, they're going too fast now. They're coming too fast. Like just yesterday was my birthday the other day, so I was too much.
You want a motion to slow down?
Someone make a motion to slow down every 2 or 3 years.
I second that motion.
All right, so we see the upcoming planning and zoning board meeting is September 11th, 2025, correct?
Correct.
All right, and do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion 7:07 PM to adjourn the meeting.
So moved. Somebody gonna second it so we can go?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Good night.
Good night. Sayonara.